What's up, guys? Jixer Uppies here with another video. I'm just riding my Z125. It's a beautiful 70-degree sunny day right now, middle of March. It's been all over. I mean, it was 80 degrees the other day, and then the next day it was snowing, so definitely trying to get out on all the days that it is warm, because we're still getting that fall spring kind of season right now. So let's get into the point of why I'm doing a little bit of a moto vlog and talking today. And I want to talk about, I'm getting a new bike. It's in the title. Oh, puppy dog. It's in the title. I'm getting a new bike. Now, I'm not going to say what it is. I'll reveal that in the video when I do my first ride and everything. But I will say it's another sport bike. I've been missing my sport bike ever since I got rid of my Gixxer. As much as I did love the MT-07, it's just, I gotta scratch that itch and get me a sport bike again. And that MT-07 was the newest bike I've ever owned. I mean, this is a 2018. The MT-07 was also 2018. So anyways, I've owned some newer motorcycles, but I've never bought anything brand new. And this bike, this is my first brand new bike I've ever owned. Coming straight from the dealership floor. I think it's got like 2 miles on it. So I'm really pumped to get it. Hopefully I can get it in the next couple of days. I'm just waiting for them to finalize some paperwork for my registration, and then I'll be on my way. Gonna drive about 3 hours away to go and get it, but it'll be worth the drive for sure, because I got this bike retails, the MSRP is like 11,300 or 400 or so, and I'm getting about $750 off on the MSRP because of a discount that they're doing. And on top of that, I'm getting a $750 gift card that I can use towards parts. So I'm probably going to get me a slip-on and tail tidy kit, maybe a couple of other things if I can find them. But yeah, I was looking around, I'm thinking about buying one of these things, and I saw that deal and I'm like, I gotta do it. I want that bike, I'm gonna make it happen. So I went ahead and put a down payment on it and everything, and we're gonna go and pick it up this week, hopefully. It's a 600, and this will be the first 600 that I'll ride for a while, because from my 250cc, my very first motorcycle, I went straight to a 750, and I've owned a handful of different generations of those Gixxer 750s as my main bike and ridden them quite a bit. However, I never really experienced riding a 600 all that much. I had ridden a couple of buddies, like my buddy's got, he had a CBR 600, that was cool to try. But I went ahead and got a Yamaha R6, a 2004 R6 that I went and rebuilt because it was completely wrecked. And I loved that bike. I only rode it for a handful of days, but in the time that I did ride it, it was such a blast, because I had never ridden a 600 and felt the weight and the power and the flickability of them compared to the 750s. Especially because if you look at the stats, the Gixxer 750s, or just Gixxers in general, tend to be a little bit heavier, like a good 20 to 30 pounds heavier than all the other 600 class bikes from Kawasaki, Yamaha, and Panda. Now, I think that's changed over the years, but for the generation, I was looking at the mid-2000s, late 2000s generations, and I also had an early 2000s. And in those years, in that decade of 2000 to 2010, that's about where they ended up, was about 20 to 30 pounds heavier than the other 600s, including the Gixxer 600, because the weight difference between the 600 and the 750 is very minimal, especially now. I have a mic with one of those little fuzzball things on it for the wind noise, and And I keep getting the little fuzzy hairs in my mouth when I'm talking. It's annoying because the wind will like get under my helmet and blow it in. But yeah, so anyways, I never really truly experienced a 600 in all of my time riding, which granted hasn't been that long. I've only been riding for about 3.5, 4 years. But I've owned a lot of different bikes, and I've ridden a lot of different bikes that I didn't even own. And I've had a ton of fun experiencing all these different ones, but just something about the 600 fit me so well. And I don't know if it's just because I never tried them and I felt like it was a little bit narrower and, you know, the weight was better and everything. I don't know exactly what it was, but I really did fall in love with that 600, that Yamaha R6. And if they weren't so expensive, I'd probably get one of the newer ones, but they're so overpriced nowadays that I didn't bother with a new R6 because I would have spent probably an extra $5 grand over what I am right now, and that would have been for a used bike with thousands of miles already on it. Oh, it's windy. Ah, it's too windy. I just really wanted a 600 because the only 750 around is the Gixxer 750, and I wanted to try a different bike because I'd gotten on these Yamahas and Kawasaki's and they were just as much fun. Them damn kids, man. But yeah, so I really just want to enjoy a different manufacturer than Suzuki. I do love the Suzukis. They are a ton of fun. They're very reliable. And again, they have the 750 that nobody else has to offer. Although I've ridden, you know, that 2018 Yamaha MT-07, phenomenal bike. But something I noticed with that was like, okay, it was so nice having a gas meter and a gear indicator and everything. And even on this, I've got a gear indicator and a gas indicator. And those older sport bikes just don't have them. So that, along with some of the other new technology, like the quick shifter, I really am excited to try that out. I've never had one before. And I just wanted to try some new technology. There's the quick shifter. You've got your different modes, like a rain mode, a track mode, just a road mode, whatever. And there's a handful of different options as far as that stuff goes. So I really want to experience the new bike technology, because being on these older, you know, 2000s bikes, it just doesn't exist. It's just, they're as cookie cutter as it gets. You know, you turn the key on, you got a clutch and brakes and gears, and that's it. Which, to an extent, is awesome because you don't have to worry about things like your ABS system going out and, you know, some other stupid malfunction. You're gonna have benefits to that too, and especially for like if you're a stunter. Some of these bikes are becoming ride-by-wire on the throttle now. All right, well, I definitely underestimated the wind today. It's a little bit much for this tiny bike. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. I just want to experience the new technology of these new motorcycles, as well as experience something different than the Suzukis that I've typically been riding for a while. I'm not going to go dumping too much money into it right away. I just want to enjoy the bike. I'll put a slip-on on it because I don't like the stock exhaust sounds. You gotta hear that raw four-banger sound for sure. But yeah, I'm really excited to get this new bike, and I'll be back on a sport bike. I can go and explore some new stuff because I've been on my 125 for a little while since I sold my last sport bike. I wasn't sure what I was going to get next, but I knew I'd get another bike. I won't get rid of this thing. I love it for just cruising around in town, and I'm eventually going to learn to stunt on it and stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying out a new generation motorcycle. I love the body style of them. I want to try that quick shifter and see how much, you know, smoother everything is. Another thing, I would love to eventually try out going to actually hit a track. I never really thought about it much before because I'm not near any tracks. They're all a few hours away from me. But I would like to experience that with this bike now that I have, you know, the middle of the road, the proper track bike, you know, a 600 class. So I think that should be fun. And overall, I'll be out exploring, get some new moto vlogs in. I'm gonna do some more, some different kind of content, like some more just raw sound kind of stuff without me talking, because I know there's audiences for everything. I would like to get into rebuilding some bikes and making some videos on that, because that's how I've made some money flipping bikes and getting up, you know, building up to a bigger bike, and now I have the opportunity to have 2 motorcycles at once. So I would like to get into that, and I'd like to do some of the raw videos, as well as I'm going to keep these kind of educational sort of videos where I'm telling you stuff about, you know, pros and cons of a motorcycle, and, you know, the maintenance of them, things that you can do with them, all that sort of thing. I want to keep that in it for sure. It's nice to not get tossed around by the wind for a second. But on this road, it's all farm, and I'm gonna end up getting tossed around again. It's so fucking windy! So in general, I'm just really excited to try out a brand new motorcycle, really fully experience a 600 class, because I've never done it before, riding thousands of miles on them or anything, and experience that new technology. I want to experience putting out YouTube videos, different kind of content with it, and really try and grow my channel this summer with it. And yeah, I'm just hoping for the best. I'm looking forward to having a ton of fun on it, and I can't wait for the summer. I gratefully regret my decision to go on a nice scenic route. Something I'm just thinking about that I forgot to mention, one of the big things about getting this new bike, I plan to put a lot of miles on this thing in a short amount of time. And the reason being, I want to just go and explore. I've lived in the Midwest my whole life, and I've only ever gone out of the Midwest 2 times. Once to Nashville and Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and then just back in December I flew out to Florida. But I remember setting foot in Nashville. It was about 25 degrees here. It was the middle of February, and me and my buddy got to Nashville, and it's 70 degrees. We're wearing a t-shirt and shorts, and first thing I noticed going down Broadway, there's like a pack of 8 motorcycles, and I'm like, dude, I just wish I could be riding right now. Because that's the one thing about the Midwest that sucks, is you gotta pack up your biggest hobby for about 3 months or so. But I want to take this bike, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a new truck and just tow it down there, or if I want to try doing like a really long ride on the sport bike. I know it's not gonna be comfortable, but I might give it a try. But anyways, I want to go back to Tennessee and check that out. I want to go and explore in general. I want to go see the mountains and stuff. Maybe go out to like Colorado and see those mountains and the national parks. And maybe go to the East Coast or something and see some of the beaches even. And the ocean and stuff. Because I've never seen any of that stuff. I've never experienced it. And the best way to experience it is on a damn motorcycle. You feel everything. You feel the wind, the temperature change. You feel the sun on you. And it's just, I can't wait to do that. And that's another big reason that I want to get a brand new bike, is so that I can go from start to finish with that thing and explore in the country.